Happy Mars and Scorpio crew! To honor this energy, I want to share with you a spooky story. So one of my lovely crew members, Scarlett, decided to offer me a free love reading as a thank you for one of the readings I created for her this week. And as she sat down to prepare this reading for me, all of a sudden the weather changed around her and she had a number of technological difficulties. Now, this is not the first time this has been happening. Two other people that have created readings for me in the past experienced similar circumstances. A friend of mine from Poland gave me an energy reading last year, and as she sat down to do the reading, all of a sudden storm clouds gathered outside. And another friend from Romania gave me a short energy reading too, and as she sat down to read my energy, the lights went off in the house. Why am I sharing such a story with you? Well, it's because even though my faith in the divine is really strong, sometimes I doubt whether spirit hears me. Sometimes I doubt whether my faith is actually as strong as I think it is. Sometimes I doubt whether my manifestations are coming into being. And I'm genuinely afraid at times whether I'm indeed protected or as protected as I like to think I am. But occurrences such as this one make me feel that indeed there is a team of ancestors, angels, spirits that has my back. So moral of this story is, if you've been feeling like you are not protected, if you've been feeling low and depressed and like nobody has your back, actually you might be more protected than you think. You might be more loved than you know. And there could be at the moment spirits working in your favor to help you and bless you with a lot of light. All you need to do is open up and trust and be ready to receive. Now let's move on to your reading. Hey crew, welcome back to the Spiritual Social. I'm Lexi, your local lightworker. I'm a tarot reader and an astrologer, and I'm very happy to have you here with me today during these really magical witchy times. I'm filming this reading one day before Halloween. It's a super beautiful energy. It's very healing, very spiritual, very yin based because we are during Scorpio season, and from today Mars also enters Scorpio. For a second I almost tripped over my words, but as we all know, Scorpio energy is very secretive, it's very withholding, it's not a very verbally open kind of energy. This is more about inward emotions, tempestuous feelings, and deep thinking. So this reading today is the second Halloween creation that I have here for you. And I'm going to open the space here to hold whatever messages want to come through from beyond the veil. What I mean by the world beyond the veil, maybe some of you are already familiar with this concept, but for those of you that are new to this channel, it's basically whatever lies in the spirit realm, whatever you consider the underworld or the upper world, this magical world, the 5D, the fifth dimension, that is beyond what we can normally see, touch, feel, and taste, and take in through our normal primary senses, if you want to call them like that. So what happens once we part the veil during this really magical time in the Northern Hemisphere, when the separation between the 3D and the 5D, our current reality, and this fifth spiritual dimension is increasingly thin? What happens when we take a peek and maybe tap into the energy of our ancestors, any spirits that are around that want to give us messages? These can be messages of encouragement, of determination, of maybe how to transform our feelings. It's been a very difficult year. The North Node in Gemini has been making us focus only on the facts. It has been bombarding us with news, and it's been draining our faith in the collective and making us be a little bit pessimistic. You know, Gemini is the opposite of Sagittarius, is this energy of I only believe what I can touch and I only am able to somehow make sense of. So It's not long now. The north node of the moon and the south node of the moon are going to change signs at the end of December. And up until then, we have a little more, as I call it in my culture, heirup to go, which is we need to arm ourselves with determination to keep pushing forward. And Scorpio, and especially Mars in Scorpio, is this determined stealth healing energy that is helping us do so, mind, body, and soul. So I have 3 choices for you today. These came to me earlier as I was shuffling my decks. I just thought I'd be a little bit old school and go back to creating words for you, specific words, as you guys got accustomed from the Your Love Story series, which I filmed last year in spring. So we have here for group 1, fiercely protective. Oh, sorry, productive. Hey, but I don't think that's a mistake. Fiercely protective or fiercely productive? I will make sure to add this once I reach your group. Then we also have for group 2, creatively magical. That's so interesting that that word came through. Some of you are looking for protection. I'm already getting into divination parts. Sorry, guys. So let's reel it back in. Passionately soft for group 3. Okay, I invoked here the element of fire that protects us from anything that is not of the light. I invoked here the element of water, and I have it in this softly pink glass to protect us, to bring us a lot of love energy. All the crystals here, all the colors are all meant to create a circle of protection around us as we're tapping into the world beyond the veil. And only those entities, ancestors, spirits, and angels that are of the light will be allowed to come through. Archangel Michael, the angel I work with, is always at hand to protect me and my crew, so we can dive into these deep explorations completely safe and completely secure. And I also have here a golden bell to do some sound cleansing. So I look forward to divinating at your pile if you've made your choice. I'm going to pull today from the Deviant Moon Tarot, one of my personal favorites. I also have here the Language of Flowers, which was recently gifted to my channel by Ashley. Thank you guys so much. And I have a variety of decks here, oracle decks that I'll be pulling from at your group. They are all linked in the description box below if you're interested. I also have Amazon affiliate links, so every time you click on the links below of my decks and you purchase them, I also earn a small commission. So if you want to show support to my channel in that way, you can do so. You can also gift me oracle and tarot decks. I have a wish list below, but feel free to maybe send me decks that you have, lying around the house if you have extra, or if you're not using them, or if you would like to see me feature them in my channel here. On my channel, more like it. Proper grammar. Yeah. I also have a twin flame novel. It's cozy season. You might want to read something romantic, available both as ebook and as a paperback. You can purchase The Storyteller, my twin flame romance novel. And also have a look at my other channel, Spiritual Soulscapes, where I have the Spirit podcast and a number of meditation videos to soothe you during this period. Well, I think that's about it from me. I look forward to meeting you at your groups, and yeah, good luck. Hey group 1, hey my loves, I'm so happy to have you here. This is for those of you that were drawn to the fiercely productive group. Yeah. So welcome to a special Halloween reading. This is my second one that I promised I'd prepare for you. I'm filming this right before Halloween, one day before it happens, at the hour of midnight. So I'm just gonna be smooth and slow in this reading. I had to wait for the energy to settle so that I'm able to genuinely listen to whatever messages need to come through. For this reason, I pre-shuffled all of the cards that I'm going to show you in a second, because I don't want to disturb the energy of today's reading. And before I get into it, I do need to tell you that in order to celebrate the fact that our family is growing, we reached 38K, I, as always, am going to gift you with a reading. Every time we reach a milestone, I made a promise to myself that I will give something back to you. So for a chance to win one past life reading with me, please comment down below, what is kindness for you? And I don't know why, but in your reading, my voice is very raspy. Might be overwhelmed with emotion. I feel like I'm losing it. Oh my god. I can't speak in your reading. Either you don't want me to speak, you find my voice annoying, which I hope it's not the case, or you feel that there are circumstances that are constricting you in your life, and almost like you're holding your emotions in to the point where they just have to burst out, they have to come through, almost like wanting to emotionally discard everything on the outside, like you're regurgitating all the pressure that you've been holding within. Oof. Okay, so we're already beginning quite strong, group 1. Yeah, as soon as I acknowledge this energy, my vocal cords are cleared. We're going to take our time, okay? We're going to get to the root of why you might be feeling like this and why have life circumstances backed you into a corner. So I have a lot of cards to get through. So as I said, make sure that you take part in the giveaway. I would love to give you a reading. But now, since you're here, let's get into your reading. Let's see. Who wants to convey what to you from the spiritual realm? So we have here the Queen of Pentacles, Judgment, the Seven of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles. These could be worries about money and your worth because they're connected. Perception, yin and yang. Shaman of Courage. I feel that a lot of you that chose this group have planets in either Scorpio or Taurus. The Snake. You could be born in the year of the Snake. Shed Old Skin. The Feminine Principle. Wow. And we also have here the Queen of Elfame, Magic and Beauty. Yeah, this is clearly a message about worth. And the spiritual entity around you is Sahakiel, the angel of heaven, the angel of the sky. A gateway is opening for you to leave behind things that are blocking you from seeing your true worth. You've been putting up with people, jobs, and situations that are just not serving you. They're keeping you small. They're keeping you caught up in petty circumstances. I'm hearing mean, but I feel that you are getting this meanness from the outside. And sometimes you feel tempted to reflect it back to other people. It's as if your buttons are being pushed almost to the brink of, I had enough, I cannot do this any longer. There is a feeling here that you need to rise above your current circumstances. Sahakiel is here, 444 when I said that, and it really pulled me in. You're building a new spiritual foundation inside of you. I feel that you were brought up in an environment where you were told, potentially by a maternal figure, that money equates with your freedom, your independence. Potentially you were raised by a single mother who had to sacrifice a lot of things for you, and you've always admired her capacity to work so hard for you, but also you felt a little bit stressed, a little bit burdened, I would need to say, with these cards over here, a little bit burdened by this incredible moral weight of the fact that you need to make money, and lots of them, and money is security, and money is freedom, and it's almost like money became this huge idealized thing, and because it's so huge and so idealized, you don't understand it as the simple energy between what I give comes back to me. Sometimes I give more, I earn back more. Other times I give less, I earn less. It's all a matter of how much energy I have and how I choose to open myself up to opportunities, and how I tell people this is my price, and what I put up with and what I don't put up with. The basic of the laws of prosperity. But I feel like for you, it's like an ideal. I feel like money is something that you hate and that you feel so attracted to at the same time. How can I get there? How can I get that wealth that I need? And it's strange, maybe it's taboo. I'm getting a sense of self-consciousness as well from you as you're listening to these words. Maybe I feel that some of you don't even have these conversations about money, or if you do, it's always like you have to put on this facade of, I need to be very careful how I talked about money. I need to always make a joke, or I need to be modest to portray an image as if, oh, I don't care about that, you know. But it is important to you, and there's nothing to be ashamed of. I think that you would do well to benefit from de-glamorizing money, and just having a very matter-of-fact approach. I feel that the energy around you is that of an enveloping maternal spirit. Some of you could have actually lost a parent, and that was the parent that taught you the basics of this idea that money is something to strive for, something you should definitely achieve in this lifetime. I mean, it could have been something as simple as a parent that you loved, or a relative, an aunt, a grandmother, a mother, a sister. Somebody that had a very maternal energy. It could have even been your father, but your father might have had a lot of maternal energy, you know. Some of you might have been raised by a single dad. So this parent, this authority figure, and I'm saying parent because you see the Queen of Pentacles here, she is very maternal, right? Very curvy, very, it seems like her body has been through a lot of fertility, and you see here the children at her lap grasping her dress, and she's holding this coin almost as if she wants to put it someplace because it's monumental. So there is something here about maybe a curse down the family line. For those of you that are Scorpio, Scorpio moon, Scorpio ascendant, Venus, Mars, if you have prominent Scorpio placements, you were brought up, or you came into this world in an environment, and I do want you to protect your eyes. There is something very strange happening with your eyes at the moment because I feel like scratching them. That's just as a side note. But yeah, there is something here about you were born into wealth, but it was not acquired through just and legal means, at least not all of it, not the entirety of the family wealth. Or it was acquired, but it was acquired through the pain and hurt of other people. I'm thinking here of like, for example, money that is made from human enslavement, yeah, something like that, you know, other people that work for you for very low wages and you treat them very poorly, and yet you grow in wealth and they actually deplenish their life force, something like that. Or it was money that was just made out of investments, you know, it's just a figure on a screen that keeps growing or diminishing according to how the market moves and the stock exchange. That's kind of the feeling. It's like we have it, but we also don't know how to use it, or we used it in a way to control each other in the family, to tell each other how to live, what to do. I'm even getting some of you might have a sibling or somebody around you that is undergoing a gender transition or is non-binary, and this person has been made the black sheep of the family. And I have a feeling this is somebody you're very close to. It could be a cousin, it could be a sibling. For some of you, it could even be yourself, but you're not yet open about this thing. There is something here, yeah, very strongly about, you know, you see, this is a man holding a coin, and it looks like he's out in the town with a prostitute, right? And he seems to be very arrogant and very afraid. He has lost one shoe in the process of running away with all the money he looted, right? So there is something here, but then there's the annunciating angel that comes in and swoops in. This is Gabriel, the angel of heralds, announcing that divine retribution is at place. So some of you have this curse on your shoulder that is not your own. You were just born into these circumstances, but this is why you have planets in highly spiritual healing signs. You could be thinking, oh no, why was I born with the moon in Capricorn or sun in Scorpio, or why do I have potentially Mars in Pisces? You know, what are these placements? Why is my 12th house, 8th house, and 4th house super filled? Why do I have a stellium there? Well, it's because you were born into this incarnation to take 1111, whatever your family has left behind, and transform it into something pure. You are the one who is supposed to come out in public and apologize on behalf of your family. You are the one who's supposed to be the whistleblower. You are the person that's supposed to write a tell-all book, that's supposed to give all of the receipts, to come out clean, to, in certain cases, bring the tea out. But this will be a very uncomfortable process where you're going to have to sacrifice your loyalty to your family for the greater collective, and also for your spiritual, somehow, baptism, if you want to call it like that. Because in this way, you're breaking through these curses. You're breaking through the karma that your ancestors have created, and you're bringing a sense of lightness, emotional lightness. Because I'm getting the sense that you might have grown up in a rich family that felt like a tomb, or you might have grown up in a family with a single parent and you felt burdened by so many responsibilities. So each of you is taking this curse in a very distinct way. The ones of you that identify more with the single parent thing or with the poor family environment, you are suffering from the burden of thinking that any second now, if you don't have money, you might have to demean yourself. You might have to work a really crummy job, or maybe sell your body and your sexual gifts, and really lose your worth if you cannot pay the bills. While the other ones of you, you're just burdened by this atmosphere of money and power, and using money as a form of authority. So each one of you is trying, in these two different scenarios, you're both faced with the same self-worth task of untangling yourselves from this codependencies and from this narrative that you are that kind of a person just like your ancestors were. You're not. Here's the clue. The snake shedding your skin. You're not. You're a medic. You're a shaman. You're a spiritual healer in your family. And yes, because of this, maybe your family backed you up in a corner. Maybe they projected a lot of their issues onto you because they couldn't deal with those things that you were so laser scan able to perceive about them. So there is something here about how you use your perception. And yes, now I understand why the eye was why I felt like rubbing my eyebrow. I feel that you use your eyebrows a lot in almost giving these stern looks on your family members when they buy something that they don't need, or when they appropriate money and objects that are not their own, but they pretend like they're their own, right? When they steal, when they lie, when they cheat, when they use other people and pretend like it's okay to do so, when they treat you with disrespect, I feel that you might raise your eyebrow, There is sometimes you give a very skeptical look that puts them in their place, or you just look at them in a very, I'm gonna say it comes across as judgmental. I need to take a breather to cleanse the energy here. Okay, but that's the thing. You're the brave one. And yes, I know it's a lonely phase to be the brave one in a place where you feel like you don't belong. A lot of you might be born in a family where you are not at all compatible, astrologically speaking, with other people in your family. Maybe you're a water sign born in a fire sign family. Maybe you're an air sign born in an earth sign family. And usually when we have these connections, they are karmic connections. When our relationship to our parents are in a square, say you were born a Pisces Sun, but your father is a Leo Sun, that's a square. That's a karmic connection. That's one of the most quick to see markers in a birth chart, that it is a karmic connection. And I'm getting a sense here that, the overall image here is rise above and see your true worth. I feel like Sahakia is almost like speaking through. Rise above and see your true worth. You have here the divine feminine element. The energy is at play. We also have the snake. And the snake is yin-based energy, very feminine, much like the spider. And it's also a very misunderstood energy as well, because snakes are not creepy. We just made them creepy. They're actually quite sensitive creatures, and they're not slimy and cold. I actually got a chance to touch one once. They just adapt to the environment. If your body is cold, when they touch you, they become cold as well. If you're warm, they turn warm as well. And you should always pet them in the direction of their scales so as not to disturb their fragile skin. They're incredibly smooth and silky. So there is something here about your femininity or your connection to your intuition and sensitivity not being valued, being shunned, being told to shut up, being told to keep secrets, being told to, if you reveal these secrets out, something awful is going to happen to you. But here I see that you're breaking out of this, out of these sticky family dynamics, and you are helped. And I feel that Saggi Moon is also, this can be the image of a grandfather, somebody in your family that, I see this image of a young man with a waistcoat and a watch and kind of like flappy hair. That will only apply for some of you, but there is something here about a very noble ancestor, a blood ancestor, that is still, the energy is still lingering around, and this spirit is like, I see this image of like, it's doing like this. It's like it doesn't believe and it doesn't want you to support what your parents, what your environment, the environment in which you grew up in are doing. They don't want to actually put energy into this. It's actually, I'm getting a sense that the spirit is very anxious. It cannot sit still. It's much like you see here with the shaman of courage. See, it's the spiritual energy that is very chaotic, moving from side to side, and it's like, no, stop, no, don't do this, And I feel that you are the sensitive one. And if you're able to pick up on this, if you feel a strong connection with a grandfather, it might be a grandmother as well, but I'm getting a very strong, like artistic or elegant or very intelligent and cultured young male energy. Maybe this is kind of like the spirit of your grandfather at a time in their life when they felt the most radiant, when they achieved something. So your grandfather could have been to war and maybe came out of it, alive, or they might have written something, they might have done something for the community. Maybe they worked as a spiritual leader, or there was something here about helping the community in a way. This was a very optimistic, very loving, very outstanding kind of energy, very, not proud, but heart-centered energy. This is the energy I'm picking up from your blood ancestor. And then you also have, as I said, there is this it's kind of like, I'm trying to put it into words, but it's almost like a dancer. It's this energy that moves around you in circle, it coils. And this is this feminine energy that wants to pierce through. It wants to come through you. It's almost like it wants to embody you, to hold you, to hug you. And this is this feminine energy. And I feel this is the energy that if you allow it in, you will embody it. It's this energy of being sensitive, intuitive, not putting up with disrespect, not being a doormat, but also being receptive and speaking the truth with compassion. Here is where I come from. Here is what my ancestors have been doing. Here is how I, as potentially the final member in the generation, want to continue forward with the legacy of my family. You have so much power, and I feel like the people in your family might have bullied you to the point where you thought, oh God, I don't have this much power. You're afraid of speaking out because you're afraid of losing the money, but staying in this situation is like beating this tree, it's like it's painful. Staying in this situation is painful. And it's transforming you as well into something dark. So you've got this yin-based energy telling you, listen to your heart, do what is right, be caring, be loving. It can stop with you. This curse, this money curse, this karma can stop with you. You just need to see your worth. You need to see how beautiful you are on the inside and how beautifully you can speak up on the outside. This is so much about inner beauty, you know, how you radiate light and truth and honesty towards other people, towards the masses. Some of you could have Mercury in Sagittarius or Venus in Sagittarius. It's your Venus return during this period when I'm filming this with a Venus in Sagittarius in the sky. Yeah, wow, whew, powerful, powerful energy. I feel how heavy this burden is for you, but I also see here the wake-up call, yeah? So the message from beyond the veil is rise above the current circumstances. Pray to Sahakiel. Sahakiel will lift you up. The other message is trust the feminine energy around you. Trust the vibes. Trust the intuition. Keep on raising that eyebrow. Keep on questioning what people are doing in your environment, and do it in a kind and compassionate way. But also don't keep it only in the family. Share it with other people. This is a very third house in astrology energy. Communicate. Get a podcast. Get a YouTube channel. Write that tell-all book. Write about what is going on. Talk to people. Go on a talk show as well, you know, if that is your cup of tea. There is something here about not keeping it in anymore. Your perception is clear and you are protected. 2222, and I said that, and I'm going to wrap the reading here because this is divine numerological sign. So I'm going to leave it here. You had so many synchronicities and I felt such a powerful stream of energy coming around you. 8 could be significant for you because I did like this many times, right? 8. So this is what I had for you, group 1. I really hope you've enjoyed this reading. I hope it resonated in some way for you. Make sure to enter my giveaway by commenting down below what is kindness to you. Like this video, dislike it, please subscribe. It really helps support this channel, and I really hope to see you in my next one. Bye. Hey group 3, hello my darlings, welcome to another midnight session. This is a Halloween special reading. We're going to be exploring messages from beyond the veil. I don't know from whom, I don't know what they're gonna be on. I've opened this space here at hour of midnight so that we can peer through and just listen to whatever we need to hear at the moment and whatever might be significant for you on your spiritual journey. So this is for those of you that were drawn to the creatively magical sign. Because I just want to listen, I don't want to disturb the space that I've opened up here to peer through messages from beyond the veil, from the spiritual realm. I already pre-shuffled all of your cards, so I'm just going to show you what cards you have in a minute. I do need to tell you that this is a giveaway. Yes, I'm going to give out one past life reading for a chance to win one of my longest and actually my most expensive type of reading. Please comment down below what is kindness to you. Also make sure that you like this video and that you subscribe. It really helps support my channel. So now that I've announced that, let's see, what do your cards have to say? Page of Pentacles. Oof. You might have listened to group 1 as well, because I feel that there is a continuation here. We have the 3 of Pentacles as well. Again, messages about money. Yeah, the Queen of Swords. Slightly different though. Number 44, home. Ancestor of boundaries. Libra and Taurus energy. Protection guardian, drop your shields. Oof. Wow, this is really powerful. It's almost as if you're blocked from moving forward if you do not deal with the issue at hand. Reason. But this is almost like the severed head. The severed head that is meant to actually tune within. The cord, initiation. You see how the 7 chakras align? We only see 4 of them here. So 4 of your chakras, the energetic points in your body, might be overactive, while the other 3, the ones in our bodies, I'm not talking about the ones above, they're whittling at the ends. The energy is seeping out. Okay. And then finally we have here You're surrounded by the energy of Chokhmah. This is one of the many emanations of the Sephirot, the tree of life in the Kabbalah. We have here the right eye, wisdom, the right eye of God, wisdom. Oh my goodness. So there are very similar things to group one. The focus on financial worries or building your finances at the moment. And the issue with the eye, which in your case I'm seeing, this is actually a bit more positive. This is about being a visionary. No wonder that you were drawn to the creatively magical group. I feel that you're very productive in this period, or that you would like to balance your energy in such a way that you're able to produce and materialize all of the ideas that are coming through for you. But you're being held back. There are obstacles. Every time you want to push through, every time you want to like, I'm doing so good for my business or for this creative project that I have. It could be writing a book. It could be preparing an art exhibition. It could be designing a house. It could be trying to convince people that your product or your services are better than other people's. You're working really intensely and you're brimming with ideas and you feel inspired. You have been especially chosen in this period as the receptacle for all of the downloads that Spirit is sending you. I feel that you're even bothered in your sleep by ideas. You're just waking up and either you're like jotting them down in your phone or you're writing them down, or it's like your brain just gets up out of bed like system active, and you just like, you get to work, you get into it. Some of you have even locked yourself in the homes and are seeing potentially the pandemic lockdown as a great chance to finish up on this work. Some of you are writing your PhDs or your master thesis, or you're creating something, you're designing a game, you're working on an album. There is something here. I feel a lot of creative energy, a lot of burning the midnight hour. So midnight oil at the midnight hour. Yeah, there is impulsivity here. There is the desire to create, to do, to finish now. Maybe some of you are reaching the deadline, the end of the year, right? And it's not very far. We only have 2 more months left of 2021 at the time at which I'm filming this. But there could be, if you're seeing this in the future, there could be like maybe another holiday coming up, and it might apply to that. There is a feeling here that, yeah, you're like, creating the cogs, right? You're using your tools in your toolbox to make this pentacle, to either bring it into being or to stabilize it here in the ground. And the pentacle, as I said, it can take the form of anything. It's a metaphor for all this work you're doing. But a lot of you are novices. So either you were given a lot of responsibility all of a sudden and you don't really know exactly what's happening here, or you're dealing with circumstances that are changing from now until tomorrow, overnight, random, chaotic things. Things are constantly breaking down, and you're just like putting out fires left and right and putting security blankets and watering things down, and also trying to take care of yourself, to sleep and to eat. For some of you, even forget to eat. There's also the thing that you're protecting your ideas, you might be worried about copyright, you might be worried about tax law infringement, you might be concerned about all of these things. How will my creative ideas be perceived by the public? There is a feeling here though that you're being slowed down on purpose because in spite of the fact that you were given a physical human-made deadline, Spirit is saying, halt, stop, no, not yet. And actually, believe it or not, the slowing down is happening because it's protecting you. It's protecting you from other people stealing your ideas, from you rushing head forward into this and developing a big ego and having everything being taken away from you, because people might just be like, we don't like you, or we don't like what you have created. So it's protecting you from disappointment, it's protecting you from failure, it's protecting you from other people's negativity or envy, because I feel that the collective around you, the people who you're creating this work for, or the people that you're working with, And even if you're by yourself, this is about the people that you're going to launch this into, so to say. They need to spend more time in their healing process. They need to figure things out in order to truly get what it is you're doing, to not misunderstand you, to not misuse your creation, to not like accidentally leak it or undervalue it or criticize it, you know? So you're being slowed down on purpose. And in this process, yeah, I'm gonna say it, I'm getting a very strong sense of Kalima, you know, the fierce face of Durga appearing to slice your head, metaphorically speaking, don't worry. There is this image, right, this Halloween kind of spooky image, right, of losing your head. You might be fearing that you're losing your mind, that you're so stressed out, that you want to complete this, but there are so many impediments, and you get angry, and then you get hopeful, and then you get angry, and then you get hopeful, and every day it's like an emotional carousel, you know, it's like up and down and up and down. And I can completely empathize with you because I've been feeling the same recently. And I think highly sensitive individuals in this period are feeling the energy of change that Uranus in the sky at the moment is bringing, with so many planets in Aquarius, and preparing us for Pluto in Aquarius, which is just around the corner. We have one more year until it switches signs. But the thing is that Uranus at the moment is squared by Saturn, so the mold into which you are creating and trying to bring these downloads out of the ether is not yet ready. It's still squeaky. It's still old-fashioned. It's full of cogs, and you're trying to bring in pure energy flow. It's full of harsh corners, and you're trying to bring in like a globe of jelly rainbow color. God, for lack of a better word, I'm trying to describe what I'm picking up here, energetically speaking. You're trying to bring all of these things in, and it's like you're super inspired and you feel it. Now is the time for me. I feel like I'm giving birth to myself or to something very big, and the divine is like, no, that's your ego. That is your ego telling you that you're so brilliant and amazing, but it's not yet time. It's also because you're not the only one doing this. You're part of a collective here on earth of people, many people like you, that might be doing exactly the same thing at the same time. Not from the point of view of they're creating the same kind of book, they're designing the same game or album. No, they're feeling the same process. They're feeling this need to activate themselves. They're getting these downloads, and they're feeling frustrated as well regarding, I want to grow and expand, but I can't with these limiting circumstances around me and these institutional structures that are just like, you know, like making me so angry. I'm getting a sense of anger, you know, like clumping teeth and chopping hands and like fist pumping, right? And this is the energy of actually creating, right? It's the same kind of energy that you feel when people are having sex and they're pushing into each other's body, right? And it's that whole contraction relaxation, right? It's pleasure, but it's also like the physical endurance of it. It's the same when a woman is giving birth, right? It's the same kind of thing, the contractions before she lets the baby out, the pain and the struggle. It's the same when animals change, when they shed their skin, when they're trying to break out of chrysalises and eggs. And, you know, it's that energy of creation, right? Pure creation, and unleashing that force and energy into the world, into this karmic plane. So there is something here about, and I kept flapping my hands because I feel like I'm molding this energy as well. There is a sense here that you're redesigning your place here on earth. You're creating a new space. You're creating this new structure as you go along because you're so frustrated about it. It's like, slashing left and right. We need to rebel. I'm also hearing that you might take to the streets, or you might inspire people to take to the streets, or you might be very vocal about your political ideas at the moment. Some of you could be. The other ones of you are creating in silence. But others of you that have more planets in air signs, as I see here with the Queen of Swords, you're like, no, this cannot go down. We need to gather up our group. We need to take to social media. We need to have a voice. We need to protest. While others of you are just like persevering towards achieving that goal, you know. Some of you are even inventing new things like more affordable housing or different ways in which people can communicate with each other in very weird environments, or potentially how to, you know, where to apply a variety of solar panels to create more energy, or you're thinking about how to, you know, plant trees and plants on very weird surfaces. You might be even experimenting in the home with something like this because you're concerned about sustainability and the environment and how will we get food, you know, if there is a crisis coming up. And there is a feeling here that, you know, you're core to the divine. Don't be worried, because I feel that a lot of you feel that you need to bring these ideas into the present right now, because what happens if all of a sudden I wake up in the morning and I don't feel inspired anymore, and I lost this connection with the divine, with my inner voice, with my inbred? No, I think inborn is the correct word. Maybe inbred makes, maybe some of you were thinking about that word, which is a little bit judgmental, to be honest. But anyway, inborn creativity, that's what I wanted to say. So there is something here about transforming this energy into wisdom, and this requires patience and work, and it might require you seeking out help from other people as well, asking them, hey, how are you dealing with this? I do need to tell you that all the frustration you're experiencing in your life, I mean, see, Chokhmah is this energy. Here it is represented as wisdom. It is the empathic side of the eye of God. It's not Netza, right, or Gevura. But there is something here about not being so focused on how the outside looks at the moment and trying to control the outside and trying to shape too quickly the structure within which you want to bring this new thing, but pulling your energy back in, because the ancestor of boundaries and the spirit of protection, the angel of protection, they're here to kind of reinforce those limitations that you might be tearing down during the day. They bring them up at night, and you wake up within the same limitations that you thought you overcame one night ago, one day ago, and you feel like all of your work has been taken apart. And it's like, am I progressing? Am I doing anything to move forward? I want to move forward. Now is not the time. So this is the message, the most strongly resounding message of all of this. Now it's not the time. And if you get out of your head and into your body and into your mind, wow, and I got such a chill of cold air. It's usually when there's a visitation near. But it's something really good. Yeah. Okay, so there's a spirit present, and it's really wanting you to pay attention to this message. If you feel like sudden temperature changes around you, that's usually an indication that there is something around you visiting you at the moment. So it's all about coming back into yourself, understanding that your body is your home, right? All of this mental anguish, stop. Go to the center of this maze. Stop. It's here. You're here. You're safe. You exist, and it's enough for the time being. I'm hearing that the ancestor of boundaries is saying, go slow. We just want you to exist at the moment and pay attention. Be curious. Observe. Definitely pour all of your idea down on paper. Make a plan, you know, design a game changer. But don't feel the need to act immediately as you're getting these ideas. Think about ways in which you can slowly release them, so that it's almost as if, you know, like in that saying, you can't eat a whole elephant in one go. You have to chop it down into pieces. Although, why would anybody eat elephants? Like, God, I hope you guys are not doing that. I'm sure you're not. But yeah, that saying is a bit bizarre as I'm saying it. Anyway. But I think you understand the meaning behind that saying, right? It's like small morsels whatever you are getting, it's not perceived by the people around you with the same speed and accuracy and passion and dedication. So you have to feed things slowly. This reminds me almost of people who in Victorian times, they would publish their novels chapter by chapter in a gazette, right? So for example, I think that Henry James and Thomas Hardy did something similar. They would publish a chapter, and then after a couple of months you will have read the entire novel, right? So yeah, and in the future, and again, I'm getting this feeling that in the future people are going to look at your creation and they're going to get it on the spot because they will be more evolved. Times have changed, and by that point your work will have matured. It will have been consumed by the public in a specific way, right? Whatever we create, when we release it in the world, we have to let go. We cannot be possessive. It has a life of its own. You created something that grows and develops on its own. Much like when we create a child, we cannot be possessive with that child's growth because we stifle its development. We need to acknowledge that that child is an individual in itself, a tiny human already, and in spite of our care and our protection, we need to let it fly. We need to let it go out into the world and do its thing and be its own person. Easier said than done, obviously, but I feel that this will help you align. At the moment, I feel that your sacral chakra, your root chakra, your throat chakra, and your crown chakra are highly active, but your heart chakra is, where is it? Where's the solar plexus? What's happening here? The confidence, the love for life, the heart chakra for me is always this point of stillness, of understanding that you are part of the earth and the earth is part of you, that you're made up of the same chemicals that make this earth and are part of the cosmos as well. So it's kind of like coming back to that understanding, yeah? So Chokhmah is this energy, the protection guardian, it's almost like you have a protective angel around you that is stopping you, and the ancestor of boundaries showed up for you in this reading to help you curve your desire to push forward before your work is ready, before you are ready, and to just draw the appropriate boundaries around yourself and your work. 4404. Wow, the synchronicity, and again I feel like expelling some air. You might be feeling a sense of relief at the moment, which would please me tremendously to know that this helped. So let me know down in the comments. I'm gonna stop here, not to make it too long. I feel like the flow is diminishing, and I said exactly what you needed to hear at the moment. Collaborate, cooperate, take things more lightly, okay? Don't be so determined to finish before you are ready, and go to the home within. This is super important for you at the moment, okay? Great, so I hope to see my next one. Make sure to enter the giveaway, subscribe, give a thumbs up. 4444, God bless. I hope to see you in my next one. Hey group 3, welcome to a special Halloween midnight tarot reading. In this reading today we are going to be looking at what messages from beyond the veil your ancestors, your angels might want to convey to you. I'm really happy that I have you here with me tonight. Before I jump into the reading, I need to tell you that this is also a giveaway for a chance to win one past life reading with me, which is my longest and actually my most expensive reading that I offer. Feel free to comment down below and let me know what is kindness to you. Feel free to give me an example. Let me know, how do you think of kindness? Also, make sure that you like this video and that you subscribe and join my family. Every time we reach a milestone, I offer you guys a giveaway. So yeah, just keep the energy flowing and honor the law of prosperity. So this reading tonight is for those of you that were drawn to the passionately soft writing. In order not to disturb the space that I have created here, because I want to honor this beautiful energy, it's very magical. It's one day before the Halloween, when the veil between the material and the spiritual world is very thin. I already pre-shuffled all of your cards here, so I'm just going to jump into the message straight off. Wow, already I can feel such powerful energies. Okay, so we have here feminine energy, womb energy, creation. Ooh. Okay, a lot of you are afraid of intimacy, you're afraid of commitment, you've been deeply wounded. I think a lot of the crew members that chose this group are women, or you identify with feminine energy. You're this receptacle of love. You produce a lot of love. You're very nurturing. A lot of empathic energy, light worker energy that I'm picking up on. So yes, I'm so happy to have you here with me. Welcome, my soul family. And I'm getting a sense that there is this massive change coming through. A lot of you are going to become a mother in the coming weeks, months, year. I'm getting a sense that there is something changing within your body. Maybe you're feeling like your body is going through these weird changes, like you're making space for something in your womb, like you're clearing energetic gunk from the past. You could even be undergoing certain medical procedures in this period to help you become healthier, stronger, fitter, you know. It's almost as if you're in a pre-nesting phase. So a lot of you might even move into a new home very, like, in the coming period. I wanted to say very soon, so I'm just gonna go with it. I'm not going to control this with my ego. So yeah, it might happen very soon for some of you. A lot of you already know that this is coming, and for others of you, it's going to be super spontaneous, but spontaneous in a positive way. I'm getting such a beautiful growth energy, and I haven't even showed you the other cards. Wow, it's like things are coming into, like, there was a dam, there was a karmic stronghold, there was a block, and all of a sudden, the water breaks through, and it's like this pure, clean river, mountain kind of water that is just streaming down in this beautiful river. That's kind of what I see, and it's like enriching the life of everything around it. Ace of Cups. Yes, your cup is overflowing. My goodness, you know, I pre-shuffled these cards 3:33 when I said this. I pre-shuffled these cards and I was praying while I picked the cards up, and some of them flipped open and I could sneak peek into them, but others I didn't want to look because it's amazing. It's amazing the flow when you get into the reading. So you see how it's, I love this. Look at this. The moon is like pouring its spirit into your cup and you're drinking it. I see this as your energy, right? The Ace of Cups, feminine energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, very strong Pluto, Moon, Neptune energy, these vibrations. And look at her hair as well, right? Her braids, so beautifully blue. It's almost like yeah, like indigo blue. Wow. And she also has a tattoo with the moon. I just love it. She looks so beautiful. Her skin is glowing. It's I love it so much. So yeah, there is this thing of you're filling up. There's a seahorse on its way. So potentially a lot of you are going to get into a connection with a partner that will become the primary caretaker to your child. So it's interesting because you'll be quite a gender breaking or gender bending couple. 444, when I said that, my God, there are so many synchronicities tonight. I am so thankful that I chose this time to film this. Anyway, let's keep it going. So there is an energy here that a lot of you feel that this is a miracle, you know, this is an angel. You see her stone wings, right? The crown, the angel wings, the seahorses, right? The seahorses. And in seahorses, what I wanted to say, why did I say that you might get a male partner that is going to become the primary caretaker? Because in seahorses, it's the father, the male seahorse that takes care of the babies. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, also brings them into being, creates them in their body. So there is something here about getting somebody that can help you shoulder your responsibility, that can help uplift you, that will treat you in a very respectful, queenie-like way. And I'm getting, for some of you, this has never been the case. You have been disrespected, you have had a lot of resistance. That dam that I was perceiving at the beginning, yeah, no wonder you're passionately soft, right? So you've been softened by life, by all the rough experiences, but it's almost like they were chiseling you, you know, like you were like a piece of rough marble in the past, and now you're a sculpture, right? Now it's like Pygmalion creating Galatea, right? It's like coming out from the rock comes out the beautiful sculpture, the beautiful creation. So it's like you had to encounter that resistance, because through the friction and the resistance, you became yourself. You found out who you were. And for a lot of you, I'm getting you had the North Node in Aries or an ascendant in Capricorn or Saturn on the ascendant. Maybe you might have had as well Moon conjunct Saturn or Pluto. Or it could be something where you, Venus in Capricorn for some of you. You really had to work hard through other people's criticism and pushing and pulling at understanding what you stand up for and what you won't stand up for. The Knight of Swords, talk about people's energies pushing and pulling and grating at you. And see, creating these restrictions all the time. You're very loving and then nope, it's not going to happen. You know, maybe you had to let go of relationships with people that were very cruel, that were just cruel because they could, you know, or they mean because they could, you know, a lot of arrogance here. But it's also a lot of very swift things happening. So I don't think that things dragged on for years in your case. It's just encounters that kind of made you feel like, really, Spirit, is this what I'm supposed to put up with? Is this my true worth? Well, it wasn't. It was a whole number of tests. And I feel that at the moment, yeah, you're graduating. Congratulations. Wow. Okay, so the 5. I wanted to say the 5 of Wands for a second. Oh, okay. Yeah, the conflict that gave birth to you. And that's what I'm hearing, the conflicts that gave birth to you. And the Hierophant is here almost as if to anoint you, you know. Finally, you made it into the big league. You were in the little league and now you're in the big league. You know, you were just a princess or a duchess and now you're crowned the queen, right? So you're being given this larger than life, almost like transcendent force. It's not just you from now on. It's you in the service of the divine. Because a lot of you awakened in this process and you understood the necessity of bringing more feminine energy into the dried up collective. There's so much masculine competitiveness and aggression and debate and, you know, tripping each other up with power games and objects of status at the moment, brought about by this Pluto and Capricorn era. But it's like, I'm not gonna have it, you know. I'm gonna continue to be passionately soft and I'm gonna drink from my moon-filled cup and I'm gonna be intuitive and I'm gonna be psychic and I'm gonna be sweet and I'm just going to proceed forward no matter how difficult it is. And your effort, your dedication has been acknowledged. It's being seen and it is being crowned at the moment. And what you're creating at the moment, it's like a lot of emotional stability, fertility. I feel like a lot of you are thinking, I'm too old to, you know, to be doing this. You know, I'm too old to be dating. I'm too old to become a parent. I'm too old to settle down. Or maybe some of you have this shame or hang up, like you're old enough to have a lot of things that other people have, but maybe you don't have your own home. You don't have that sense of stability yet. It's here. Yeah, the Hunter of Conflict. This is what I was picking up on. So 5 of Wands. Okay, yeah, I feel that on some level there was an energy within you that was hunting for this conflict, was kind of unconsciously provoking it. And I feel that by coming into these unconscious situations, I feel like sometimes you were thinking, am I creating my reality? Am I provoking these things? Why? Because a part of me just genuinely wants to be happy and in harmony. Well, I think it's because you weren't acknowledging your shadow. You were too much into this loving energy. You had to balance it by having people projecting this masculine force at you, right? This conflict at you, so that you could rise up and become compassionate, right? So there is an energy here. I'm also getting like a Mars and Venus kind of balancing, right? Libra and Aries. There is an energy here of having been through karmic cycles where a part of you was unconsciously bringing these people up, but they were also released each time there was a specific transit to your moon and your Venus. These people were released into your environment. It's almost like lesson bringers, you know, boom, we're gonna have that interaction at work. 11/11, when I said that, yeah, manifesting all of this. So it's not just you that was creating this from an unconscious wounding, but it was also that astrally speaking, astrologically, at specific moment in your journey when planets were aligning, for example, when Neptune was exactly conjunct your moon, or when Saturn was exactly conjunct your Venus, bam, you would meet an individual that would challenge your power, or you would meet a person that would only want to give you a sexual connection but no love, or you would go into a conflict with a parent, because it was your free will in a way, because I don't know how much free will we can exercise when we're being driven by unconscious wounding. But it was you, basically, your body, your psyche, your energy, together with the divine and these astrological transits that were describing the divine timing and how things were supposed to emerge. So I feel that you're bearing this conflict behind, the hunter of conflict. I'm getting a sense, you see this wand, right? It's kind of like the hunter of conflict is coming and is like bowing down to you. It's like putting its sword in front of you and it's like, enough, I'm tired. And I see it very clearly here from the position in the cards. You see this almost like we're lifting something up to strike, but instead of striking, you're putting it down and making a prayer gesture, right? So from a life of conflict to one of spirituality, giving up, leveling, playing in the level field at the moment. Look, the fire guardian. Gorgeous energy. So ignite your passions. Now you're understanding that you can put that passionate energy, because that's the thing, you have maybe a lot of fire energy in your chart, or you're just a person that is very passionate, and maybe in the past you didn't know how to channel this passion, so it would come up in these arguments, right? And now it's like you know what to do with these passions, and I feel that you're going to create a beautiful family, a beautiful home. You're going to create, I'm hearing a lot of healing practices for people around you. There is an energy here of things coming full circle, of a globe, right? An orb of light floating around you. Wow, okay. The darkness, the chaos. Oh my goodness. Number 17, this card. Wow. But you see this white skeleton, right? This light that it emanates as it's being engulfed by the darkness. A lot of you had these moments when you might have felt like, I'm just gonna throw it all away, paint it black, give in, black flower nectar, right? So completely just, if I let go right now, I know that the devil is gonna catch me, or something demonic is gonna catch me. A lot of you, I feel, have been feeling this energy ever since you were a child, that there is something weird around you that is constantly wanting to trip you up, waiting for you to say the wrong thing or to do the wrong thing, or almost no, not the wrong thing, because it's not about right or wrong. It's about waiting for you to give up on everything and just give them permission to come in. And it's like you've been holding on to this, right? Holding on to this light. It's so invasive, right? It's like, we're almost there. We just want you to say, give your soul to us. It's almost there. So this energy, this dark energy, could have been expressed in the material level as really aggressive salespeople, right? A boss that actually wanted to cross boundaries with you and might have made some impromptu sexual innuendos when you were working in an environment that had nothing to do with anything seedy or sexual, or family members that always wanted to get a piece of you, or almost suffocate you with what they thought was love, which in reality was just toxic behaviors, or people around you that just touched you inappropriately in public places, almost like interfering with your energy, right? So it's like you had to go through this process, right, of clearing, and every time when there was a challenge, you had to reaffirm, I'm of the light, I'm not of the darkness, and nothing of the darkness shall pass through. And I feel like you're incredibly protected because of that. Truly a spiritual warrior, Every time, each day, in very random public or intimate connections, you had to reaffirm, I'm of the light and not of the dark. You shall have no dominion here, right? So maybe you didn't say it in these words. This is the way in which I say it often, because I find myself in similar circumstances with you, which is quite a normal endeavor for people that are a little bit on the spectrum, psychologically speaking, and highly sensitive and highly empathic, especially if you're an INFJ, right? So you're out there, pretty unique, pretty misunderstood. So we have here the silver bow. Love. I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy because I feel how hard it's been. Oh my God, yeah. It's like the finish line. The finish line is here. The finish line, right? And this is feeling like you belong in the social group that you have created. And for a lot of you, your friends, your family, your friends are your family. Maybe the people that you helped, the people that you are kind to, your neighbors in some cases are becoming your family. If you have children, it's the parents of the children that your child is playing with. I feel that those people, it's like you had to rely on the kindness of strangers, and you found out that strangers can be more kind and affectionate to you than your own loved ones, right? And now it's like you're coming out of the darkness. Look at this, right? Into this oasis. Wow. Look at the contrast. Unbelievable. What growth. Yeah, it's truly like Persephone, right? She's coming out of the underworld, out into the light. It's spring, and she's rejoining her mother Demeter. And because her mother sees her again, she's super happy, so she's making all the flowers bloom. Music is so healing for you in this period. Please listen to a lot of music, any kind of music that you enjoy, be it modern, classical, alternative, folk music, modern pop, anything that makes you happy. Maybe soundtracks of movies, you know. Listen to it. It's bringing you in that vibration. It's aligning you with what is coming, and what is coming is love. And look what kind of energy you have around you. I feel like crying because it's okay. So if you are perceiving that you had these negative energies around you equally, you have a force, an angel around you that would kill for you. This is Hasmet. It looks so terrifying, but it's only terrifying because it needs to scare off things that are even more terrifying than what it is facing. So there is this phenomenal energy here of a protective angel that looks fierce to you, or might have even scared you from time to time because it was around you to protect you from things that would have shocked you with their darkness. And I feel that you also, you went through experiences in life when just things could have been taken one step too far and you would have been obliterated, or there could have been, I feel that you underwent traumas, but the traumas that you have been through almost kind of had they happened very quick, or they had a deadline, or it's kind of like it never went too far to the point where it completely took you out of your body, or it was something that irrevocably created some damage to you. It was almost like just enough for you to integrate the lesson, get the wisdom, get out of there, you know. This is kind of the energy, and it's because Hasmet pulled you out over and over and over again. And I don't even think you know what was around you, and you only picked up on maybe a quarter of what was there, even in the moments when you were terrified. Wow. I don't know what I'm tapping into. It's making me incredibly, like, my heart center is like, you know, and it's making me incredibly emotional because I feel the force of this energy, and I feel the force of how protected you are at the same time. It's like you might have just been somewhere, you know, enjoying your cup of coffee in a coffee shop, and around you there were like there was this army of darkness, right? And then you had, you know, Archangel Michael and Hasmet and a variety of other angels that were just protecting you, you know, creating this force field around you, right? You didn't even know, right? A part of you felt it, but not to the extent to which it was going on a spiritual level. And I also think because you gradually grew into your energy and your powers. You gradually grew into this. You became the love that you are seeking, and at the moment you're very comfortable in this energy. You're very self-assured, you're very centered, and if you're not, it's just because you're tired, so you need to rest to come back to an understanding of who you are, which is pure love. And because you're reaching the state of pure love, you've taken off masks, social masks, one after the other, due to these conflicts that you have been engaged in. Yeah, exactly. All of these conflicts, right? And now it's like your spiritual baptism. It's like you're being anointed. It's the next level. It's definitely the next level. And it's 2222, and I feel super called to end it here. Yes, perfect. Wow, your reading gave me life. I don't know, this was amazing to end on. And it was weird because my energy kept dwindling throughout the first previous piles, but you're like a game changer, honestly. And I'm saying this, you know, completely authentically. I have nothing to win by saying this, you know, but it's like, wow. Let me know, please, down in the comments if this resonated in any way. I feel like I was reading for maybe just one individual out there. I'm not sure if this applies to a majority of you, but let me know, please. This is pretty intense energy. Also, make sure to enter the giveaway, okay? Please help me give you a free past life reading. We might get into something even more interesting in your past life. Okay, so thank you so much for listening. It was a pleasure for me to do this reading. And yeah, I hope to see you in my next one. Take very good care. And even if you don't take care, you've got your back covered. I'm sending you so much light. Bye.